Lesson 83 is going to solve rate and ratio problems using proportions. Remember, a rate just means a quantity compared to another quantity, quantity per a quantity, I suppose. And a proportion, so this is, red is rate, and a proportion sets that equal to other amounts. So I just think of, like, when I see the equal sign in two rates, I think of all of that as a proportion. Does that make sense? Now we're going to solve problems that we used to just use the two rates implied, and then we're going to solve them with proportions. Correct me if I'm wrong, we've already been doing a lot of that in class because I like proportions better than rates. Sorry if you don't. And this lesson is going to basically reteach the things I've been already doing. We have a word problem. Read it to yourself. And it wants us to use the old and the new methods. We need to know what rates are implied. Either way, you need to be able to know that 14 bags is being compared to 3 hours. So we have bags to hours or hours to bags. And we know 14 to 3. Then what do we need to solve for? We need to solve how many, what? Hours. So the old rate versions that you used to do, we'd have two options, upside down or not, and then you decide which one to use. Well, if we're solving for hours, that means we need we put hours on top, I believe, right? We take the one we are solving for, we put it on the top and use that version, not this one, so that when we multiply, it's going to cancel and give us hours for a label, which we need for our final answer. What do we know? We know 84 bags. And bags will cancel out bags, leaving us hours. Divide these by 2. And I get 106 over 7. Something like that. Let me take a look here. It should come out to 18. Does that work? It's 42 times... Well, I can still reduce, can't I? Make my job easier. What can this become? A 6. And 3 times 6 is 18 hours. So that wasn't too hard. That's the old way, I guess. Now let's try it the new way with proportions. And it doesn't, what I like about proportions, it doesn't matter which one you pick. You could pick either one. You can't get that wrong. We just take, let's take this one, B over H. So 14 bags to 3H. Then we use a proportion. And we need the B's to match up. You're not trying to cancel now. They stay, just like when we do triangle sides and we solve for the unknown side. And in this case, if it's asking how many hours, we don't know that one, but we do know 84 for that scenario. Okay, so I'm going to use H for this, and then we don't really need these right now. So how do we solve proportions? Remember? Cross them, multiply. 14 hours is 84 times 3. Great first step to show when using proportions. And now we're going to divide both sides by 14. Which will give me 18. If you multiply these on your calculator and divide by 14, you get 18 hours. And if we had solved that with H over B, we would just say, okay, well then 3 over 14, keep it the same across. So 14 was my B, therefore 84 goes down here now, and I've got my H up here. You would cross multiply, see how we're getting the same thing. It just is backwards, where we've got the H being solved on the right, doesn't matter. And you'd end up with 18 bags again. Let me know if you have any questions on these. Maybe watch some of this over again so you can do both of these, reviewing this, learning this, and try practice A.